What's going on, guys? Clifton Denny with On Your Own Outdoors. Hey guys, so today is part 2 of the Tactacam Gen 2 review. So we went ahead and did the unboxing here a few weeks ago. If you've seen that, then this is going to be a little bit different than what I actually originally explained, because it's a little bit different than what I expected. So instead of going by what the box says and checking the box on did it do that, did it not do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go by what I actually noticed setting up on a tree. So as you can see here, I've got the old school and the new school sitting right on top of each other at the same distance away from the feed pile, set on the same settings. So number one thing that I did notice is it seems like this camera does take better photos at a further distance. Again, I don't know what the box says. I'm just going by exactly what I seen in the woods, right? So number one, like I said, it seems like it takes better photos at a distance. We had it set up before on another location. You're gonna back and forth throughout this. You're gonna see photos pop up at the top. You're welcome for that. No, but it's kind of scrolling through and showing you the photos that you can expect out of the camera. So the second thing I want to talk about is the battery life, guys. So the battery life is also a noticeable difference. Now, with that being said, for whatever reason, when you have them both set on video, it seems like the old camera's battery life was a little bit better. But the new camera, just on normal settings, seems like that camera will last you probably 5 days more. Again, I've got this set over a feed pile, so we're getting a lot of photos, right? And the batteries lasted about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, somewhere in there. I'll have to go back and look to be exact. We'll pop it up down here at the bottom, but I think it was right there about that 3-week mark. The next thing I want to talk about is the HD photos. So this is huge for you guys that like to get the HD photos, you like to request those. Number one, understand with either one of the cameras, the HD photos aren't free. If I'm not mistaken, it's like $5.99 for 50 or 100 or something like that, or the HD photos or the HD videos. So the biggest difference I think in between these cameras that I noticed right off the bat was requesting an HD. So with my old camera, I can expect it to be a couple hours. With the new camera, with the Generation 2, it's almost immediate, and it is a huge difference from the photo that you've got sent to your phone versus that HD photo. It's great. I'll actually see if I can get with my wife to see if her friend will send me some of the pictures that she got off of HD, because they're phenomenal. It's in a different state, but it's really pretty. All right, guys, so the 3 things that we wanted to talk about while we're back here: battery life. Battery life is most certainly better. However, and that's with the Generation 2. However, on video mode, for whatever reason, it does seem like the old camera's batteries lasted longer. The second thing, we're gonna call it, photo quality at a distance. Definitely Gen 2 seemed like it was way better there. And then that HD, requesting the HD, 110%, Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 2. Now listen, guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but it's extremely hard to beat up what I personally believe to be one of the best cellular cameras on the market, especially for the money. You cannot beat a Tactacam. I don't care which model it is, go get one. So this review was pretty hard for me to do, considering that I've got a camera that I don't think there's anything wrong with, and I'm trying to compare it to something that is supposed to be better than it, right? So anyways, guys, that's all we've got out here in the woods. Don't click off of this yet. We're going up in the front of the property, and we're gonna do those distance at a moving target and see what those photos look like. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're set up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try this at multiple different speeds, right? So we've got the camera set up on a tree that's just right here next to me. You can't see it, sorry guys. And I've got my makeshift rhino buck. So if you can see up here, I've got my Missouri buck from this year. Hopefully I won't break it, right? But basically what I'm trying to do, guys, is get that that action photo, if you will, right? So I like to run cameras during rut to see what's moving through there. And basically one of the things that you end up with is that big blur up on top, and you can't see how big that deer is. So I didn't grab one of the largest deer. I didn't grab one of the smallest. I tried to grab one that's kind of in between. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up about 10 yards from this thing. We're gonna drive by it at like 5 miles an hour, wait a few seconds, drive by it at like 8 miles an hour, back up to about 15 yards, do the same thing, back up again, do the same thing. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna get this thing set up, see how this works out. I'm not real sure how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna figure it out. Hopefully I don't break my horns. Let's go.
This photo is 5 miles an hour at 5 yards at an angle. 5 yards, 5 miles an hour, no angle. 5 yards, 10 miles an hour. As you can tell here, the click time on the camera was not fast enough to actually get quote unquote what the deer would be running through. This photo is 20 yards at 5 miles an hour. This photo is 20 yards, also at 5 miles an hour. This photo, as you can tell, is a little further in the frame. This is about 15 yards at 10 miles an hour.
All right, guys, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That actually went a little bit better than what I thought it was. So as you can tell by those photos, we just talked about it. You can definitely, the trigger time on this thing when you're driving by, whether it be 5 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour, which is the two different things that I just did, kind of some coming at it, but mostly just kind of going crossways in between that 5 yard and 20 yard mark. I'm surprised. Like, the still photos of it are pretty solid. They're not blurry. I like it. So anyways, guys, from the battery life to the HD photos to the movement photos to the distance, quality distant photos, I think it's a win. 110%. I'm going to go with that Tactacam Gen 2, and I think you should as well. If you have the Tactacam Reveal, the original, the OG, I don't think you're going to be upset with it. I'm still happy with mine. I'm going to keep running it as well. But I think that what they say about this Gen 2 is true, and it is a little bit better camera. Does that mean the other one's bad? Absolutely not. I think that camera's a home run as well. Anyways, guys, that's all we got for you today. That concludes part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and by all means, hit that little bell up top. You never know when we're going to do a product you just might need, or come up with some just kind of, I don't know, backwoods way to try to get something done. So anyways, guys, that's all we got today. Good hunting. We'll see you later in the week.